India versus Canada. How is the world reacting to this? Who is taking India's side and who is taking Canada's side? Let's explore that in this video. But before that, let's try to understand what is going on between the two nations. So India-Canada ties are hitting a new low, and unfortunately it seems that this is only the beginning. So Justin Trudeau has accused India of a killing on Canadian soil. And as you can see here, Canada expelled an Indian diplomat who was described as the head of India's intelligence agency in Canada. India rejected the allegations by Canada, calling them absurd and motivated. India pointed out that such allegations seek to shift the focus from Khalistani terrorists and extremists who have been provided shelter in Canada and continue to threaten India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The official statement from India also mentioned that the space given in Canada to a range of illegal activities, including murders, human trafficking, and organized crime, is not new. India has also counter-attacked Canada by expelling a senior Canadian diplomat. So Canada, a colonial criminal state, can't be taken lightly, and of course India seems to be quite concerned as Canada has deep ties with the Western hypocrisy. I mean, Western democracies. So how is the world reacting to all this? Let's check it out. To start with, the USA hasn't released anything that clearly favors India in this matter. Take a look at this. As reported by Reuters, US National Security Council spokesperson Adrienne Watson said in a statement, "We are deeply concerned about the allegations referenced by Prime Minister Trudeau earlier today." The American media outlet New York Times has published this article, and please take a look at the choice of words here. The man who many in India refer to as a terrorist, according to what is written here, was a Sikh community leader. And this article by Al Jazeera refers to him as Sikh activist. Rishi Sunak, who according to many has shown some sort of spine against the Khalistanis, is expected to give a clear statement on this development. As reported here earlier, Rishi had said, "We are working closely with our partners in the Indian government to tackle the threat from pro-Khalistan extremism, and the British police are fully empowered to deal with violent acts." It would be interesting to see if Rishi has a similar viewpoint when it comes to the ongoing situation in Canada. And how about France? Well, France has a history of maintaining some sort of independence when it comes to its foreign policy, and it hasn't always blindly followed the so-called collective West. But then, France and Canada also maintain a solid relationship, as their relationship is based on strong ties between their peoples and cultures and the shared French language. On the other hand, France is unlikely to be keen to spoil its ties with India, a country that is an emerging superpower. But then, French state-owned international news channel France 24 uses words that are not going to please India. Read this: killing of a Sikh activist. Yes, for many Indians, a terrorist, but for the French state-owned international news channel, he was a Sikh activist. Pakistan's position is well known. It has been observed that Pakistan is obsessed about spreading terrorism in India and has exploited the Sikh community to achieve its nefarious agenda. On numerous occasions, the newspapers in Pakistan have glorified the Sikh extremists and have shown them as heroes. So definitely, the ties between India and Canada are hitting a new low, but can India and Canada really afford to be each other's enemy? Can it be something like India and Pakistan? Well, as far as India and Pakistan are concerned, it was observed that India and Pakistan have a little economic contact, but on the other hand, India and Canada are deeply intertwined in so many ways. For example, Canada hosts one of the largest Indian diasporas in the world, numbering 1.6 million people of Indian origin, accounting for more than 3% of the total Canadian population and 700,000 NRIs. Canadian pension funds have cumulatively invested around $55 billion in India. More than 600 Canadian companies have a presence in India, and more than 1,000 companies are actively pursuing business in the Indian market. Indian companies in Canada are active in information technology, software, steel, natural resources, and banking sectors. And as reported by the MEA, recently India became the top source of foreign students studying in Canada. So the situation is complex, and it is important that both nations find an effective solution before things get worse. See you again.